It's not the same as what Patrice just did, but it's a replica. It's a sequel. The sequel's never as good as the first. All right, welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living in Central Texas. We can get started now that Jean's here. Where we think more expansively, love more completely, and live more joyously. Woo-hoo! And thank you. She's not here, but Patrice did a wonderful sound bath for us this morning with a gong. And someone said it cleared out all the junk in my head. Well, that's one reason to show up and be here. All right, let's start by saying our opening affirmation, which is on the top of page 4. And it says, we believe that there is an infinite power and wisdom that creates everything. We are expressions of the same power and wisdom. The thoughts, beliefs, and expectations we entertain with the most energy become our experience of life. When we change our energy and our attention, our experience changes to match. All right, we have no birthdays on the list, but I did notice yesterday on the Book of Faces that Jimmy George, our musician next week, had a birthday. I think it was yesterday.
It was.
So that's also today we are celebrating Nostradamus. That's exactly how you have to say it. And Maury Amsterdam, and somebody last night told me that Dick Clark turned 100 yesterday.
No,
Dick Clark. But anyway, Maury Amsterdam was on a show with him, the Dick Van Dyke show, Dick Clark show. Also, we're celebrating Spike Jones, fun guy, Clark Terry, the great jazz trumpeter, Patty Duke, and John Lurie of the Lounge Lizards. A couple things. In 2 weeks, we'll have our Burning Bowl ceremony that we do every December. And then right after that, for an hour, we're going to do a regular spiritual practice workshop. So you hear us talk about it, you repeat your lines. And if you just want to know more about some different, I'm going to do like a brief overview of lots of different practices so you can kind of look at the cafeteria line and decide what you want to put on your plate. So it's all good. I'd like to invite Clark to come up and do opening, reading, and treatment.
Thank you all. Today's reading is inspired by Edgar Cayce, who often expresses very science of mind sort of principles. And today it's about prayer. And he says, when you pray, you're not sending messages across space to a distant deity. You're aligning your wave consciousness with ocean consciousness. Prayer isn't changing God's mind, because all mind is not separate. Prayer changes your mind by aligning with divine mind. That sense of presence you feel isn't God visiting you, but you recognizing the God you always were. The peace within you rises not from above, but from within when you stop creating the turbulence of separation. Let's take that truth into knowing prayer right now, where we know that there is only that presence within us that is always expressing itself when we are quiet enough to listen to it. And this, the only life, it is all life. It is the source of all life and all organic, inorganic, all existence. And it's one true power that no other power can supplant or hinder. And we choose to align with that one divine mind, one divine life, one divine power, knowing that we share that with the divine source. It is who and what we truly are. When we turn to it, open, receive, allow, and express our gratitude for all of those expressions, our alignment, the law of assumption presents when we don the mantle of the divine source and knowing we are it and it is us. And for those reasons and countless other reasons, too numerous to mention in one statement, all encompassing, I give thanks for the laws in action, the energies that are moved by word and action into fruition of our desires. For what we speak is what it is the only thing that's needed for full realization of our desires and intents. So knowing that, I give thanks for all of it. I give thanks for us. I give thanks for the love, the community, and the truth. And knowing that this word is corresponded to perfectly, reliably, consistently, and is now law. Demonstrate as our experience right now. This or better always. Thank you. With gratitude and love, I release this completely, and let us say together, and so it is now. And with that energy in the room, we're going to add to that pleasant energy right now. Say hello to Lisa Clark this morning.
Lead me to the light. Lead me to the light. Help me to make it through. Lead me into the light. Make my eyes to see all that I could be. Help me to see it through. Lead me into the light. Turn my night to day. Take my hurt away. Help me to be with you. Lead me into the light.
Thank you, Lisa. All right, I asked myself a question this week. Am I ambivalent? Yes and no. Here's a question for you. What do you call a caveman with a massive ego? Neanderthal.
That's good.
All right, all kidding aside, this morning we continue our Let in the Light series that we started last week. And last week we looked at the essence of light, which is always been a beacon, pun intended, of spiritual growth, awareness, and understanding. And I suggested that you keep doing the emanating practice that we started a while back, where we were emanating love or gratitude, and then doing that as you get out of the car, as you walk to the store, as you go through the store and do whatever you're in the store to do, and then as you leave the store, okay? And this time, though, we switched it to doing emanating light, just shining like a sun, indiscriminately all directions, without knowledge or permission of the others in the store, and also without waiting for response or recognition. Did anybody try it this week? All right, I did too. And as before, I benefited from focusing my energy and attention on something spiritual, like light in this instance, and I felt lighter, right? And I felt lifted. And I felt better whilst I was in the store and doing it, but I also felt better later on after I left and had done and started going about the rest of my daily activities. I felt better remembering being in the store doing it. And that's why we do any spiritual practice, is we do it. Yes, we benefit in the moment that we're doing it, but there's residual ripple effects that go out and keep benefiting us, and that's why we do it regularly. However that works. And very similar experience to the benefits that we felt when we were emanating love or when we were emanating gratitude. I think we're on to something here. We'll just see about that. Our friend Edith Wharton shares there are two ways of spreading light: to be the candle or the mirror that reflects it. And today I want to focus on lightening up. That's the title of my talk. Lighten up, please. Now, just as the title for this series, Let the Light In, came from the Amy Cook record of the same name, this name, Lighten Up, Please, came from a Dave Liebman album. I don't expect anyone to know who that is, but he's a famous jazz saxophonist of the 70s and 80s and 90s and beyond in New York. Anyway, his title was Lighten Up, Please. And in case you haven't noticed, which I find that awareness about anything, not just spiritual things, but awareness about ourselves and awareness about life. I find that I say, okay, got it. And then all of a sudden I realize, yeah, I got that much of it, or I got it at that level, or in that circumstance, or with that group of people, but maybe I don't have it as much as there is to have. In case you haven't noticed it, I've noticed something in my life that has resonated with me lately, and that is, despite my best efforts, despite my regular spiritual practice, despite all the things I do, I don't control everything and everybody. The humanity, not by a long shot, obviously, right? And I never will control everything and everybody, so that tells me, I've learned that anytime that nothing's ever going to eventually happen in that area, it must not be necessary for me to get present, assess my resources and opportunities, and then choose the best ways I can to express the divine within me. Doing that is being the candle that Edith talked about. Okay? To be the mirror, we have to get comfortable with the infinite nature of life, how incredibly immersive it is, that we're in it all the time, and that helps us resist the urge to try and have to keep it all for ourselves. We help others adjust their perspective as lovingly and compassionately as we can, and help them see the light present in their life. That's being the mirror. And we will often say, hey, I've looked at something in a new light, right? We have that phrase, which means that with the benefit of expansive awareness, we again gain an understanding that comes with mindful living, because it affects everything else that we see from there on out. Hi. Helping others is one of the best ways, they say, to help us move out of depression, because we shift our focus from what is or isn't working in our life according to our preferences, which we can get quite engrossed with, and we shift that to being objective about seeing the possibilities available to others. And I have also noticed that it's much easier for me to objectively observe someone else's life and be quite plain to me what would be the easy spiritual growth answer for them. And it's a lot more difficult for me to do it in my own life. Okay? And the reason is we can help other people so easily because we're not all tangled up and blue about wrapping our tale of woe and inserting it in every way possible into the commentary about what is or isn't happening. Okay? Make sure everybody knows about what happened to us. Right? Michael Looney shares, one obviously needs to lighten off. I believe he's British because he continues by saying, a rucksack full of bricks or a mantelpiece full of trophies will soon have to be abandoned, and the sooner the better, I say. Okay? Which leads us to the practical part of the talk. Just how do we lighten up? Now, back in the 70s, yes, I do still have one or two brain cells or memories from that period of my life. Back in the 70s, there were popular phrases that were used that expressed a popular idea succinctly. Okay? Not unique to that decade, it's still going on now, right? But since I was coming of age during that time, it is the most impressive upon me than other periods and other sayings. But one popular saying back in the 70s was, lighten up, man. Right? Just lighten up. Right? Anybody else remember that? Yeah. Meaning that somebody was focusing on the negative parts of what was going on and bringing everyone else down, man. Bringing me down, man. Reason that was important? Because we spent so much of our time, energy, attention, and resources trying to get high. Right? That was our thing. And it was such a bummer, man, when people brought in too much reality into the experience. The reason we were getting high is we wanted to escape reality. So lighten up was a way of saying, don't be a drag, man. Don't be a drag. Again, a drag was anyone that was eliminating the fun from the current experience. Right? The actor Kenneth Branagh shares, lighten up, just enjoy life, smile more, laugh more, and don't get so worked up about things. Do we see people getting worked up about things? Yeah. Things that they can't do anything about? Really? It's a choice. Now there's another saying back in the day. That's heavy, man. That's just heavy. He ain't heavy. He's my brother. Similar meaning to lighten up, please. But it's a recognition that we all carry a load. We all carry burdens with us, and helping each other as we can helps lighten the load of others. So it raises the question, how many times does it take to lighten up? And that's not a light bulb joke. Okay? It takes as many times as it takes. That's the answer. But it's always an option. Our ability to lighten up is dependent upon how much load we're choosing to carry forward day to day, which begs the question, what load am I choosing to schlep over from yesterday to today? And then what load am I going to take from today to tomorrow? And the important question is that load I'm carrying making my life and the lives around me better or not? Simple question. But whatever we're doing, whether we're being a drag or heavy, or whether we're lightening up, that energy is contagious. You've heard the old joke, it's like some people light up a room by coming into it and some people light up a room by leaving. Yeah, there's that. The energy we have and we're putting out is contagious. That's why we like being around certain people and we kind of like around other people. Right? We help others see it as a possibility when we lighten up to see that it's an available option for them. So it's a win-win. But it does raise yet another question brought to us by our friend Stephen Wright. If you're in a spaceship, if you're in a spaceship traveling at the speed of light and you turn on the headlights, does anything happen? I'm glad you like it, Clark. So the answer as to how quickly, how well, how easily we lighten up, man, is going to be different for each one of us. Because we're all in different states of awareness and understanding. We're all in different moods. We all have different things that are happening or have just happened in our recent past that are influencing what we're focusing upon now and how we're identifying ourselves and what we believe possible about ourselves. Now, one thing to do to lighten up is what I already mentioned. That's to shift our focus away from ourselves and our current circumstances. And that can happen by answering a call for help from someone that we know and care about. It can also happen by answering a call for help from a complete stranger. Again, it gets our attention off of our stuff into a mode of helping. And the reason it works is because it puts our current circumstances and whatever we've been struggling or entangled with in a different perspective. Just turning our attention away from something, you notice that. You turn your attention away from something and then you figure it out, right? Because you're not all tangled up and blue. And what it does is it gets our myopic attention off our problems and limitations and releases our kung fu grip on what's wrong or who is and who isn't doing what. And it shifts it away just long enough that we can realize there is another possibility. Because in an infinite universe, there is always, always, always another possibility. And when we help others see possibility by default, we are teaching ourselves to adapt that same paradigm and do the exact same thing in the midst of whatever is or isn't going on. Now, another thing we can do to lighten up is to look for the good and start to promote it. Start to interject it into a place of greater predominance in our energy, our attention, and our interactions. And since good is omnipresent, there's always good wherever we are. Partly because it's omnipresent, but partly because it's omnipresent, so there is some within each one of us that we bring with us when we show up wherever we choose to go. I've got to be the one to tell you this. Rock is dead. Long live paper and scissors. Title of the talk is Lighten Up. Our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, shares where our consciousness is permeated with 51% of right thinking, we are healed. When there is more light brought into this room than there is darkness, the darkness will disappear. That is our process. We say we feel lighter, right? We feel good when we focus on light, when we laugh, when we love, right? All those things. And finding a more elevated perspective gives a wider field of view and allows us to more easily creatively combine and connect and see ways to creatively connect all the things around us and more other things around them. So when light enters a dark room, it doesn't struggle. Nothing resists illumination because the light is coming, it's pervasive. Nothing has to earn its way into visibility. And likewise, our inner light exposes us to greater possibility. It shows us the next right and step and gently reminds us, you got this. There is always a way around, beyond, and through whatever is before us. And when we have moments of sincere gratitude, it opens our soul, and it opens our mind, and it opens our heart, and allows us to flow, that our light, the divine within us, flow forth unimpeded. And we start by giving thanks for just the small things, the ordinary, even the imperfect things, the things that don't go our way. There is still something we can be grateful in all things, is what it said, or what the Bible says. It didn't say be grateful for all things, it said be grateful in all things. And light floods the inner room of our being. And gratitude is the practice that expands the space for spiritual awareness and understandings and leads to our illumination. See, focusing on light, like focusing on anything else, it's a personal choice, and we garner a personal benefit from it. And when that's true, when what we're focusing upon is positive and life-affirming and expansive, sure. Not so much when what we're focusing upon or choosing to focus upon is negative, restricting, and limiting. Either way, it's still our choice. Okay? Still happening. Still being responded to by the law of cause and effect. The cool thing about that is that it's like whatever we're choosing to focus upon at the moment, we're completely free to focus upon something completely different at any time we so choose. Holmes goes on, he shares, yes, it is better to light one candle than it is to curse the darkness. The darkness in our life is dissolved when we light the candle of understanding, forgiveness, love, and truth. So this week, in addition to your emanating light as you go shopping, if you're brave enough to go shopping in 10 days, ask yourself, am I lighting the candle of understanding, forgiveness, love, and truth right now? So, lighten up, lead, lighten up, lead. See, you don't need the day of leaving out. I don't even know if you can still find it. Anyway, when we choose to lighten up, whether that's lightening the mood with a head-to-head joke, like I like to do, or just bringing up something positive, life-affirming, and expansive, when we purposefully choose to lighten up, it benefits us most certainly. Yes, it does, but it changes what we're contributing to the collective mix. And the cool thing is that when we get ourselves and enough of those around us to lighten up, we make it easier for everyone around to consider the possibility of lightening themselves up as well. And that one little shift, that one change of focus, that one paradigm shift, it doesn't have to be massive and newsworthy. It just has to be chosen. And then it needs to be chosen again and again and again. For focusing our energy and attention on light lightens us up, yeah. And it lightens up our path, and by default, it lights up the paths around us. It lightens up those around us, and then it lights up those around them. And eventually rippling out to everyone on the planet. And that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. And it makes a difference here and now, and with enough repetition, it ripples out from here to there, from this to that, and from now to then, from forevermore. And so it is now. All right, thank you. Now let's look at our programs on page 6. And let's say this together at the top of page 6, the weekly affirmation, also on the little card by the door. It says, light, love, good of every kind is available to me as I keep myself available to it. I focus on light in this and every moment feels with God. That one shift affects every other part of my perception, identity, attitude, and paradigm for the better and makes all better. There's a typo in there. The right thing's on the card over there, but editing. But now you've said it. It's true. It's good for you, so it's all over. All right, let's give ourselves the gift of our good attention in this moment. Maybe take a deep breath or two, or close your eyes, or reposition your physical form. Just allow yourself to be present, to be aware of light, which is a quality of life, of illumination, of enlightenment, of spiritual growth and expansion of awareness and understanding, which leads us to feel better, feel energized, which leads us to try more things, which gives us more information and more experience to go on and expand out into other things, to speak our heart, to know our truth, to engage life at a deeper, more profound, more meaningful level than ever before. And good is omnipresent. It is right here, right now, in multiple forms and a variety of levels and ways to engage at any moment. All we have to do is do the things and remind ourselves of the truth that keeps us available to it. We choose what to focus on in each and every moment, and right now I choose to focus upon the light. And then I continue to choose that for the next several moments. And getting a good spiritual idea, something that elevates our energy and our attention, benefits us. And as we continue to come back and focus upon that good idea, the benefit continues. That's our opportunity. That is the promise of life, that it responds to whatever we're giving it to work with. All it takes is one simple shift from whatever we're focusing upon to something more life-affirming and expansive to focus upon. And that one shift affects every other part of our perception, our identity, our attitude, and our paradigm. That improves and expands it, and that improves and expands all of that experience for everyone around us and for everyone around them and on out into infinity. Loving it all, loving this wonderful teaching in all the ways it shows up in our lives and reminds us of these spiritual principles and truths, and spiritual tools we learn to engage and promote, demonstrate those spiritual principles. This wonderful community of like-minded individuals that love and support each other. This beautiful moment, this beautiful day, this beautiful time together this morning benefits us, yes, but it also benefits the entire planet. Because this energy we create, enjoy, and generate, and originate, and expand, and multiply exponentially, ripples out to make a significant difference in the neighborhood around us right now in the city of Austin and all the planet. We appreciate and deeply are grateful and celebrate the changes that are positive that have started this morning, that will continue as we choose to continue to come back to these good ideas, revisit them, include them in our interactions throughout the week, keep our spiritual practice going and growing, deepening, becoming more meaningful and impactful in our life, and just by the same token in all of life. Loving it all, we appreciate it and release it into the law, which is already responding to new ideas, new possibilities, new opportunities, new interactions. Loving it all, we release it as we say together. And so it is now. Just how many quotes, Christmas quotes, can Lisa?
I only did one. Did you hear more than
I
one?
heard more than
Wow, that was spirit. That wasn't me. I mean, that was spirit.
it's all spirit. All right, let's say our giving affirmation as we come to the part where we support this wonderful work we're doing together. Take the value we receive from the world for the value we bring to the world and pass that along with love and appreciation. Let's say this part. It says, divine love concentrates my gifts. They go forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper. They are evidence of my commitment. They do their good and perfect work and return to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is now. All right. And now Lisa is going to do a couple numbers. You were reminding yourself to remind yourself to tell us you're playing something.
Yes, I'm doing a Christmas concert this coming Friday at the Lake Travis Community Library at 3 p.m. So come on
All right.
if you're able. Yeah. Thanks for asking. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. For the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. People done gone crazy. People done gone mad. People done forgot the superpowers we all have. We all want to love, not hate. We can decide our fate and look for the good in everyone and celebrate all our mistakes. If there's a silver lining, you still have to find it, find it, find it. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Everyone needs sunshine. Everyone needs rain. bright. And I look for the good in everything. For the people, set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good, look for the good, look for the good in everyone. Oh, everyone is nature, everyone is God, everyone is love and light and vibration. Look for the good, look for the good. Everyone gets mad sometimes, and maybe they should look for the good, yeah. Look for the good, look for the good. Life should be sweeter if everybody would look for the good in everyone. Look for the people who set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. Yeah. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good. Look for the good. Look for the good in everyone. Yeah. Feel free to get up and move around if you're so inclined. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año felicidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año felicidad. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Feliz Navidad. Sing along, yes, yes. Feliz Navidad. Woo! Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y felicidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y felicidad. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. Wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart.
Oh, I didn't listen for the sound.
Well, that's just because that's feeding through there. Oh, learning curve. Oh, learning curve. Why do you keep me learning? All right. Well, let's move on to our moments of gratitude and application of these teachings. I'm grateful I get to do the elephant tomorrow with 18, 19 of my dear friends and squeeze onto that little stage. It's fun. Also, got an update on Liz Alani and her foot, ankle, whatever surgery. She got her most recent, her 6-week checkup, and she said all the screws and plates and whatever else is in there is still in the right position. It's all perfect, like what we knew it would be. So yay God for that. And also a thank you to Donna and Tom for opening your home last week. And I'd like to celebrate the fall color.
Yay!
We get it in December. Other people get it in October, September. Texas has to be special. That's good. So it's fun to see things lightening up. You're gonna
Well, I've had a week, and it's been delightful, starting with the party. It really, I decided to do, aside from my own experimenting with the light, I decided to observe and see, where that light is showing up around me and maybe where it's not. No judgment, just to see what's happening. And I'm telling you, that party is one of the lights of my life every year. I don't know, people just bring their light to our party, and it's so fun, not to mention some great food. So I'm very grateful for that, and I've had lots of concerts this week, kids' concerts. Lisa and I did a concert together, and it was so, I just feel so grateful for you. She lets me share the stage with her, and talk about light. At this one gig that we do, the piano is facing the wall, away from the people, and she has to wear the mask because it's so compact, with people, and still her light shines through. It's really extraordinary.
Well, I will make an observation about your party in your house. I think you've created an environment there that is conducive to people letting their light shine. And I think this group certainly has a collective energy and a sense of community that helps that facilitate that. So I think that getting those things together it's a win-win.
Yeah. I went to a kids' concert last night. My granddaughter was singing, and the kids are a little afraid. They get up and they have to sing a solo, and they're like deer in the headlights. But there was one girl, and she was just having fun. There's always one, and so you just notice, and not that one's good and one's bad. It's just what are we going to choose?
Yeah. And how many opportunities do we facilitate for them to find that opening and to allow it? Because I was thinking about this as well. I didn't talk about it, but it's like, we like being around children. I think maybe because they've got less in the way of the light and love and all the rest of it, and I think it helps lighten us. So yeah, you got it.
I appreciate your talk today because, especially when you're talking about getting out of ourselves and into something else that's more constructive or giving or what else. It took me back to 2009 and that bad economy when I got laid off from a 22-year job. And it was such a blessing, because, I was going on 60 at the time, and that environment back then was not conducive for people my age finding work. But I went down to the animal center and volunteered. I've told this story before. I'll leave it short like that. But it did get me out of myself, and I felt such love and giving, and those things were way before science of mind, and before I discovered that. And Josephine was so understanding, it was just all she said was, well, what are you going to do now? you know, said, well, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna go volunteer first, you know. And that started a 10-year blessing of its own with a friend that I made through the center, the animal center, who now we live in the home that she had, you know, we just love it. It's idyllic. So, you know, the truth just bursts from this. You know, I mean, it's so true about that light. You know, that when we give that, it just brightens and everything around us. You know,
And sometimes we think, there's nothing I can do to help. It's like, well, yeah, there is. It may not be what you think or what they're asking for necessarily, but there is always ways. You know, and getting, like I said, getting ourselves outside of our world and our worldview and the way things are, the way things have to be or whatever, it opens us up to other possibilities. And cool. All right, you go.
I'm so grateful for everything. I'm so grateful to be feeling as well as I do. Some of you know, like 3 weeks ago, I wound up in the ER, and my oxygen was at 84, and but I went home, and Spirit, you know, just guided me to, you know, I had gigs that I had to call and say, I can't be there. You know, I have to take care of myself and preserve the vocal cords. So, and they're here, and I've been doing tons of gigs, and I'm continuing to get better and better, and so very grateful.
All right. Okay. Well, let's look at our opportunity for application in your life. Here's your homework. If you accept the challenge, the gauntlet being thrown down, because this one's not easy, but we're not here to be easy. What are 3 topics that quickly bring you down? How can you creatively observe them in a new light and see beyond your way or the typical way of interpreting them? Yeah, focus more on that. And next week we will conclude the Let the Light In series, but that doesn't mean you have to stop letting the light in. But we're going to talk about the incredible lightness of being. Our musician is Jimmy George. Again, 2 weeks, we got the Burning Bowl ceremony and the regular spiritual practice workshop after that. So let's say our closing affirmation on the middle of page 7. We'll go out and enjoy this beautiful day. And it says, I am an expression of infinite, divine, creative intelligence. Knowing a joyful serenity awaits my recognition and acceptance, I take this moment to deepen my understanding that I am perfect, whole, complete, and dynamic. My soul is forever established in life, love, light, power, peace, beauty, and joy. I lift my eyes to the divine in me, in those around me, and in all of life. I walk out into the world with an uplifted heart and a mind open to the infinite creativity of all life. And so it is now. All right, thank you very, very much for being here, and we will see you next time.